Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
Yes!
Dad, I'm hungry.
My name is Martin. I'm one of the cruise directors for Azamara. One of the many cruise directors that you're going to meet today, because we're having a mini cruise directors convention, and it just so happened to coincide. We're not. That's a lie. I've started off on a lie and I apologise. That'll be the last one. That was also a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand over to somebody who you will be intimately familiar with, I'm sure. And we know, well, I could have phrased that better. Someone you know, and know well. Nailing it, excellent. You may know her as Victoria. We know her as Her Majesty, Queen Victoria!
Hello everybody. What an exciting night for us this evening, and most importantly, thank you for giving your time and joining us for this iconic moment as two sisters meet in the harbour. Like every good story in travel, there was a little hiccup this morning. So as you can appreciate, 3 months, 6 months work goes in. We've got pilots involved, we have air traffic with the drones, and we got final word yesterday that we could line up the two sisters outside the heads to enter together so we could get that iconic photo. Fabulous. Smile came to my face. 5 a.m. this morning, we're boarding the little media boat to go out with the drones. The phone rings. It's the Captain Michael from Pursuit. We have a problem. I can't even tell you a wrong story here because he's going to check my... We have a problem. We have an emergency medical evacuation on Onward, and we need to keep going through. So the photo that you wanted and we spent 3 to 5 months planning won't be able to happen, as we're literally stepping on at 5 a.m. on a small boat. But as we know, we're very resilient, and we've had lots of things thrown at us over the last few years. And we take you back to 2 years ago, where we were a very small team of 4, and we're about to transition from a quite large company into a little small space. So we were taking lots of data the size of an elephant and putting it into a small box. What could go wrong? I had many meetings and I think people just smiled at me going, "You're a bit naive here, Vic, it's not going to happen the way you think." So on we went. We employed a team here locally. We had 4 people at this stage in the call centre with Dara, and we had 4 sales team. 12 months later, we got over transition that was supposed to potentially take 3 months. So first of all, I thank you for bearing with us, because without you special people here, we would not be where we are today, so thank you. So I'm pleased to say we've moved on from transition. Australia is seeing huge success, especially in our local region here. We are 2 ships in the harbour with full capacity. So without you wonderful people, we would never have got to that. We have 312 Australians on Onward, and I'm waiting for my final answer of what the Australians are on board Pursuit. So potentially over 600 people are from this market, and from the bottom of my heart I say thank you for joining our journey as we build our brand here in Australia. So thank you. The most important thing here is the growth of what Azamara have come. So we went from 4 people 2 years ago. We went into 4 more with Dara and the team in the contact centre, and I'm pleased to say we now have 16 people as part of our team to support the trade here in Australia. So we've gone from 4 people in the contact centre through to now 10, including Dara 11, and then we have 6 people in our sales team, with 1 more joining us in the middle of the year. So up to 17, so which is a huge growth for us, and something we're very excited and proud of. So today, the show will go on. And we do have a happy story to finish with. But before we move forward onto tonight's proceedings, I think the most important thing is I'd like everyone to thank the amazing team we do have here in Australia and what they've achieved in the last 2 years for the growth of Azamara and most importantly the brand. So I ask you a round of applause for the team here locally. And also to the amazing crew we have that work tirelessly every day to keep your clients on board, happy and loving the destination immersion that we do offer. So to the team of Onward and to Pursuit, we say thank you for everything you do for our clients here in Australia. So all good things must end well. So as we sailed in, the sun had risen. We'd seen Onward continue through quite fast through to the dock today. Pursuit then followed in all her glory. She decided she needed to do a pirouette in the harbour. Thank you, Captain Michael. It was a great image to see today. But we sailed through and we looked up and I looked at Tim, our photographer, and I said, Tim, Pursuit's backing back. Onward stopped. Look around. And he goes, you want that shot, don't you? And I said, it's the only shot I'm going to get. He's like, boys, get the drones up, get the drones up. So miraculously, the drones went back up. They got behind the two ships and together, the two sisters stood side by side in the harbour. And that is the shot we finally got. So tonight is all about celebration. Thank you for supporting us. And we continue to work and the partnerships as we continue to grow and build our brand in this region. I do want to let you know as I finish off that the cruise we had that sailed from the 14th of December around via Perth into Sydney for New Year's had 520 Australians on it. What an amazing achievement from each and every one of you, so thank you. Without further ado, I am going to hand it back over to our lovely friend Martin with his humour, and most importantly, have an amazing night.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. A pleasure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a little panel for you, and I'd like to invite them to come and take their seats for some interrogation. Please join us. Yeah, give them a round of applause as they come to the stage. It's intimidating when it's quiet. Okay. Evenly matched. 2 ladies, 2 gentlemen. Beautiful.
We did plan it.
Planned it to perfection. Congratulations. I'm just going to ask our panel from the gentleman to my left to go down and introduce themselves. Who are you? What do you do?
Not much. My name is Richard. I'm the hotel director on board. Been with Azamara for a while, since 2007. Yeah, still happy to be here.
Hello everyone, I'm a fellow Aussie. First of all, I'll start before my name. So lovely to see so many Aussies in the room, but my name is Sammy. I'm your head of entertainment for Azamara, newly appointed. I started about a month ago now, or just over a month, 6 weeks. Feels like forever for Simon. But yes, lovely to meet you all. Welcome aboard.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Simon. I'm the Vice President of Hotel Operations.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's switch.
I should take that as a hint. My name is Simon. I'm the Vice President of Hotel Operations. I'm based in. Thank you, Martin. I'm based in the UK, but this was the first time sailing back to Sydney after 5 years. I used to live in Sydney for 4 years, and so quite an emotional day, really. It's wonderful to be back here, and really looking forward to chatting with you and getting to know you a little bit more. And I know that we have 2 captains at the back of the room. We've actually got the officers from both ships joining us upstairs a bit later on. So really glad to be here. Thank you for joining us.
And she doesn't need to introduce herself, does she, everybody? We're all good.
I'm just going to say though, brace yourself. Martin's got the microphone.
That's what they say before I sing as well, which is unfortunate. I'm not singing, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, so I have a few questions for you. That's a very quick Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. Who wants to go first? Simon. Simon, you look so enthused to be asked a question by me. I'm curious. I've worked for Azamara for a few years now, everybody. I started in 2021. And one of the keystones really of the Azamara experience for our guests is destination immersion. Now I'm curious, what does the future of that look like as we move forward? How do we keep developing?
Great start, thank you, Martin. And you're absolutely right. It's one of the reasons that I joined Azamara. I was familiar with the brand many years ago, and with the cruise industry being as small as it is, this was the brand and continues to be the brand that's well known for destination immersion. But how do you evolve that? How do you make sure it's ever evolving? And there's a really simple phrase that I use when I'm talking with the team, both on board and in the office. It's easy enough to bring our guests to the world. And yes, we stay later than everyone else. We stay overnight more than everyone else. But I know we arrange these great shore tours and these great experiences, but how do we bring the world to our guests as well? And how do we focus on doing that across the experience on board? So whether it's food and beverage, whether it's entertainment, because we stay later and we stay overnight, the tours shouldn't just stop in a day. So we've got a wonderful team led by a gentleman called Paul Chappell who runs our shore tours program, and he's created what's called these curated experiences, which are more bespoke. You would literally go to someone's house. Obviously, it's a very nice house, but you would literally go and enjoy this wonderful experience as if you're being treated as one of the locals. And these curated experiences have only just really got off the ground. One of the reasons I'm here is because over the course of today and tomorrow as well, I'm meeting suppliers who I used to work with when I was living down in Australia. And we're working with suppliers in South Africa, in South America, in North America, and of course Asia as well. Because when you're providing great culinary experiences, you're only meeting half the expectation if you're serving it with Italian Pinot Grigio. One thing I learned down here was that there's such good produce in Australia and New Zealand, and we just weren't taking advantage of it. We were serving great Australian lamb with a nice French burgundy. So how do we get better? And we've got to ask that. We've got to ask ourselves that question: how do we get better? And we keep on trialing ourselves. We keep on testing ourselves. We listen to our guests. We listen to our business partners and our travel advisors, our travel agents, and we can never just be satisfied with what we have. How can we be better this season than last season? And destination immersion has to be throughout the whole guest experience. It's not just 2 hours of the day or an experience on shore, but it's again, how do we bring our guests to the world and bring the world to our guests as well?
Thank you so much. So it's a multifaceted approach to developing it.
I would like to think so.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I've worked for the company since 2021, as I mentioned. The gentleman to my left is an institution with Azamara, and I'm not going to say how many years he's worked for the company. I wasn't born yet. I was very much born. We're only a couple of years apart, and he's a lot more handsome than I am, but that's fine. We're going to talk about that. Richard, I have a question for you, sir. You work for the company.
Just sit here and drink, tea.
You don't want to. You don't want to talk. I'm so sorry.
Okay, ask.
So you've worked for Azamara for many years. You're not the only person actually that's worked for Azamara for a number of years, and people keep coming back. Crew members keep coming back. Guests keep coming back to us. So what is it about Azamara, both for crew and guests, that's special? Why is it special compared to our competitors?
Okay, that's a tough question, but I will try to be quick. First of all, on board of Azamara ships, we have 4 ships, as you know. We're looking at 75% of crew members who are very loyal to us, at least 5 years per company. That is really remarkable when it comes to a ratio of the crew members who are coming back to Azamara and who doesn't want to go anywhere else. Why we don't want to go anywhere else? Because we like it here. All my boss is sitting to my left, so I don't know if you should hear it, but I think that the big deal for us, also for the management, is that we have a very good relation, very close relation with Miami office, with all the management that is working there. Close enough for us to pick up the call midnight, 1 a.m., doesn't matter if there is emergency, and the call is answered. That I never have seen on any other cruise lines that I worked with before. No names, celebrity cruises. Don't worry, just a joke, yeah. But this is the beauty of this small operation, and then this very intimate, almost relationship that we have. So thank you for this. This is one of the good points here, that we allowed to work, we allowed to make decisions, and usually then asking for forgiveness later. But we allowed to work, and that's a huge flexibility for us on board. Being also a long time with Azamara, I'm very loyal, but again, it's not only me, there's many others here. Again, this family feeling here that we have on board, this genuine service. And I was looking actually at my Polish dictionary, and looking at the description of this word, I couldn't find really. When I tell you that on board our ships you will find genuine service, it doesn't tell you much. What you need to do, you need to experience it. I always say I'm a father of two back home, and you know, there's new kids now. Even my kids, I would never hire them in my life. But the genuine service you have to bring from home, and you have to bring from mother and father. I can't teach you that. You can't read it, you can't really learn it quickly, so you have to bring it with you. And this is what we have on board. We are very lucky. Otherwise I will be somewhere else. It's just this very magical feeling here on board when it comes to relationship between us as a crew members, and then that cascades to the guests. And this family feeling, this friendly approach, and very genuine, real approach cascades to the guests. And again, it's hard to describe, but this cruise we have 342 Australians on board, so you're doing already a great job. And ask them later, how's the service? And by the way, I bought enough Vegemite, so they will be happy. But, and I think that's what makes us apart and set us apart from any other cruise lines. It's easy to say, it's not easy to develop. It took us time to develop this culture on board, but again, we are very proud of it. Again, our scores speaks on its own. You can check online how we're doing, but we are very proud of it. So again, I think that's what makes me returning here again and again, because of this family feeling, this close relationship, and again, just a natural, friendly atmosphere.
Well said, Richard. Thank you very much.
So, can I just jump on that as well? Because, you know, Richard's a very humble man. His experience in the company is one of the reasons why, you know, it makes my job so much easier. And I've also never worked in a cruise line where the onboard team tells us what we should be doing more than the other way around. You know, we laugh when it comes to SOPs and procedures because they're going to be broken. And you know, yes, of course we've got consistency across the product, but one of the reasons why I think our crew and our guests love Azamara so much is that every ship has its character, and it's about the individuals who are on board, because we don't say, you know, you have to fit into this box. It's the character, it's the passion, it's the creativity. And it really does come through, and that's one thing that coming to visit the ships, which I am trying to do as often as possible in Europe, but of course coming down here to Australia, and you get to see that creativity and passion in another market, and it's wonderful to see. So, but it's down to the guys on board, from the captains, the hotel directors, everyone gets a say. So it's very unique.
I couldn't agree more with that, Simon. And as I said, I've spoken with Richard a number of times over the contracts we've worked together on, and one of the things that always stands out to me is just how guest-centric the approach is. That's something you're always very, very keen on, across the hotel directors and the captains through the fleet, in fairness. But I stand next to Richard on the gangway, and he says what he's just said to you. You can be told about what that service is like, but until you actually experience it, it's a very different thing. Just a quick follow-up question to you, Richard, is, given how many times you've stood on the gangway and said, talk to me in a few days, once you've experienced it, how many times do people come back to you?
Almost every time. But I want to mention something else. There's people behind there, our captains and staff captain here. Again, normally on the bigger ships, again, not mentioning here any names, but again, you don't talk to captain every day. Here, they actually bother me so much that I have to talk to them, but they're also very visible. And I'll give you one example also of our guest-centric situations. For example, if there's any anniversaries and we are at sea, I've seen it, so it's the whole truth and is a fact. Captain decided during the sunset to do 360 for the guests at sea, for the anniversary couple. That doesn't happen on the big ships. It will never happen. They would rather focus on casino and then revenue from there. But this is again what captains do here. Okay, captains goes above and beyond. They are visible. They are around, and that's what makes this also company very special because of special people like this. I don't know what kind of interviews they're going through, but yeah, they find these people. So thank you.
Thank you to the captains. Thank you. Well seen, Richard. The lady in between Richard and Simon, she's introduced herself as Sammy, our head of entertainment. Now, it has been a short period of time, but I'm already enjoying working with you, I have to say. That, they gave me a script. A question for you is, what is your vision for entertainment? Where are we going with this?
Oh, that's a big question. Well, first of all, I've spent my first month immersing myself into the product. I sailed Onboard Pursuit for I think 12 days, 10 days, I'm not sure. You should know more than me. And then
I don't know, it really dragged.
Yeah.
That's what I...
Wow, tell me how you really feel. And then I hopped a flight over to Miami and did obviously an office visit. So I've kind of been quite busy. But what I've seen, I've been impressed by. However, I can tell you that next year we will be launching up to 10 new shows. So watch this space.
That is very exciting.
Yeah.
In the time you've been with Azamara, what is the best entertainment experience you've had since you've been on board?
White Night.
White Night is an excellent answer.
Yeah.
What about my show?
We have to talk.
It's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. Richard will be continuing the questions.
Your show is wonderful.
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
$50 later. Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks very much. No, the White Nights. Could you speak
No,
to?
yeah, the White Night. I have been on many brands, and I've seen White Nights. I've seen these parties all the time, and I honestly, and this is speaking very genuinely, I was blown away. I honestly felt like a dance mum at a recital, filming them. You saw, I was like this, like upstairs, and I was completely involved. It was so much fun, and just to see the guests just absolutely enjoying it. And it was cold. It was in New Zealand. It was when we had that cold weather, and it was pretty icy. And they were up there until the end. And I think that kind of speaks for itself, that it was just one of those experiences that from the beginning right to the end, guests loved it. They stayed out, they partied, they had fun. Your team and yourself killed it with the energy, and I think that's what kept it going. Obviously, all of the teams were so involved. The food up there, everyone's sitting out under the outside and eating. It's just a great experience, and I think that's just so unique to the industry. And it's so simple to execute, but it makes such a difference, and it literally blew me away. And I have so much content that I honestly just look back on and I was like, that was good.
I was receiving videos and pictures of the White Night for 3 days after Sammy got off the ship. It's just like, it's another 20 videos.
I was a proud mom.
Oh, it was great.
I was proud.
Oh, it was lovely. But you touch upon something there as well. Again, it's the collaborative nature of what we do on board. Well, the White Night is genuinely my favourite night of the voyage. I love it. It is just a party. It's a chance to really engage with the guests. But all of the elements of it, the decorating, the setting up, the pools, the food. The food is absolutely phenomenal. The food and beverage department on the ship, it's like a military operation. Richard, you've seen them, they get everything set up. The food is done, everything's gone. It's It's so smooth, it's very, very impressive. But again, there is a team effort through everything that we do on the ship, which is quite unique, I have to say. I've personally worked for 6 or 7 different cruise lines in my time, and it just feels different. And White Night, honestly, my favourite night as well.
Yeah, I love it.
It's cool.
Can't wait for the next one.
Richard?
Just quickly, I don't want to interrupt, but this cruise, especially this cruise, we're looking at this White Night party, and it is weather dependent because it's an open deck. So the captain, he doesn't know it, he just came, but we've spoken to Captain Michael. For this White Night to happen, this cruise, we're looking at possible White Night at sea. Now, I've done it before, it's beautiful, but it takes efforts, it takes planning from the captain. And this is what they do for us. They will try to do that for us at sea when the ship will slow down or even stop for a few hours just to make it happen. Now, again, if you're asking me, only here. So, thank you, Captain, in advance.
As Richard,
Was that a question or a statement?
we like forgiveness rather than permission. That's what we're saying.
I know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be plenty of opportunity to ask questions. We're all going to be with you as well after this event. We're going to be upstairs together, and vino will be flowing. Please enjoy. There'll be chances to ask questions of us while we're there, and please do take the opportunity. But I think it would be nice to open up the panel for a couple of questions from you. If there's any questions that you've got, all I ask is keep them semi-clean. No salary questions, etc., etc. But yeah, questions, things that would be really helpful for you to be able to pass on to the people that come and see you. Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask? Excellent, thank you so much, everybody.
They're all ready for a drink.
It's okay if you don't.
No one likes to be the first. There we go, we got one.
Okay.
Quickly before he changes his mind.
So our activity host and DJ Ellie, come on over to you. Thanks, Ellie.
Don't give me a microphone, you never get me off it. So I had the pleasure of doing the Azamara cruise with my family a couple of years ago, and one of the highlights was the AzAmazing evening. Is that planned to stay around?
Yes, absolutely, and it's really part of our DNA. The AzAmazing evenings has been around since I think 2015, 2016, and so for those who don't know. I'll try and keep it brief, but it's an experience where we, for the majority, and it's the vast majority of experiences, where we take everyone off the ship and take them to this wonderful location, which is a real immersion into the culture and just the societal elements, and it can involve food and beverage aspects, but really it comes into the entertainment at the end. So I've done the AzAmazing evening in Kuşadası in Turkey, where we go to Ephesus, and it's just this amazing open air theatre built thousands of years ago, and sun is setting just to the right hand side of you. It's just insane, and it's stunning. The show, and of course the captains, the cruise directors, the onboard teams are there as well. We did one on the CEO cruise recently in Colombia. And again, just fantastic. So we do them on cruises 7 nights and above, and again, some of them are on board the ship, and that tends to be more from a logistical thing, because taking our guests for 2 or 3 hours can seem a little bit daunting. So for those experiences, we bring them on board, but for the vast majority, our AzAmazing evenings will continue to be ashore, and they're staying with us. They're not going anywhere, and they are one of the best unique selling points that Azamara has, because as far as I know, they're not done anywhere else. So thank you for reminding me. I should have brought that up earlier.
Thanks for the question, much appreciated. Does anyone else have a question? Yes, that's an easy one for you, Ellie. That's close.
You mentioned about meeting with local suppliers and purveyors and rolling out like that true immersion. What sort of timeline is involved to then see that actually rolled out in the fleet?
Really good question, because I've been planning some of the products that we have on board now since March this year. But actually, even if I call them in September, August, or actually even later, we've got some great suppliers, great produce in this region, and really proud of what they have to offer. Now, because we have that relationship and that connection, we can say, right, we're going to be in Sydney in this date, can we get these products? And 99% of the time it's a yes. And so it's a quick turnover, and bearing in mind that if we worked with the way we used to and others still do, that's containering a lot of stuff. That's logistically, that's logistically 3 months perhaps on the water. So there's the timeline of shipping, but there's also the carbon footprint. So we're not just doing it from a destination immersion point of view, we're also doing it from a sustainability point of view. There's less carbon footprint and less time traveled, and a lot fresher, better products as well. So.
Thank you very much for the question. Thank you. Anyone else?
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She's got a microphone. She's ready. Thank you, Abby.
Hi guys. The feedback I'm been getting from most of the cruise lines is that the average age of cruisers is getting younger, and that smaller cruisers are of more interest. I'm interested in what you guys are seeing with your demographic on Azamara.
Good question. So I think traditionally for Azamara, as we all know, it's probably more of a 60 plus demographic that we do have on board. And we still keep to that average, there's no question. What we are very much starting to see is that more 45 to 50 plus who are looking for more premium quality, more inclusions, which of course comes into us with all of our meals included, all of our drinks that are included, our specialty teas and coffees. So understanding that that's really redefining luxury is what's included, which is what's allowing our age demographic to certainly drop to that 45 plus. So we're not to say that that's, we're bringing the average completely down, but it'll be interesting to see where that does go in the next few years when we relook at it. But traditionally, of course, we were that 60 plus, but definitely seen that change over to even that 50. I've spoken to many consumers and at trade shows who, as soon as we start to talk about our product, you can see that's exactly what we're interested in, because they, as we all know, you can get to the end of a cruise and we don't want any surprises with what you then pay. With us, with that all-inclusive, people are looking for more to know upfront and the value for money.
Yeah, I'll follow on from that as well, because I read lots of reports from McKinsey and places like that about travel and tourism that I'm sure Richard can probably land this more, because I think we talked about it last year when we were in Bordeaux. But the premium leisure industry is seeing a real influx of 30 to 40-year-olds who are, maybe it was happening before COVID, but COVID really was a catalyst, and we've seen a real swing towards premium leisure in that age group, who are not wanting to go on this crazy party to Ibiza or the Costa del Sol anymore. They're wanting these shared experiences, and they're willing to save and spend more on these premium shared experiences. And I remember being in Bordeaux last year, because we were seeing a lot of first to brand and a lot of younger first to brand, and it was really exciting to see. So,
no, I absolutely agree. And normally what we're ending up here was with the guests who traveled already on the bigger ships. It's not easy to try from this first, to come here to the smaller ships and then go to the bigger ones, because then you're in a culture shock. But it's much easier to then change from the bigger ships mentality and come here as a well-traveled person already, that you're looking for not better quality, just different quality for the destination. This is the people who are basically want to be more relaxed. They don't want to be chased every 5 minutes with the, and pay for the drinks and water and everything else that they're charging for somewhere else. So that's what we see here. People are just more relaxed, more laid back, but at the same time they're looking for the destinations. They're looking for the concept that we propose.